Hello and welcome to today's session on sponsor license for UK branch of an overseas business. This is a series of videos about uh, overseas businesses who intend to launch their branches in UK, and we are covering that how to register the branch and all the steps which come in next in the sequence. So yesterday we did how to register a branch and information about the regulatory or registration official documentation, the forms which are required to be submitted. We discussed a lot about the form, its contents, its requirements. Then we discussed about the documents which were required to be submitted. Then the fee for registration as a branch. We discussed that already. Now we have reached to the next stage of the same. So now branch is registered, and now the next step is sponsor license. Before that, I would like to show you uh, a broad sequence of the steps in from registration of a branch to the arrival of the uh, expansion worker visa, the applicants on expansion worker visa. So let me show here. Uh, so the steps are, as you can clearly see, that first step is register a branch. We already discussed that. Now next step is apply for a sponsor license. Today our discussion is apply for a sponsor license. Then the next stage is sponsorship management system. Then apply for allocation and assignment of certificate of sponsorship. And then last, apply for UK expansion worker visa. So this is the broad sequence from registration of a branch till the application for UK expansion worker visa. We are covering all stages individually. Today's session is about applying for sponsor license. Now I would like to show you the official uh, documentation uh, for concerning sponsor license. So this is the official document of the Home Office. This is a guidance which is titled as Workers and Temporary Workers Sponsor a Global Business Mobility Worker. This guidance was updated on 24th June 2022. So whenever we intend to talk about UK immigration or anything related to that, we should always ensure we are checking the updated version. So how to find whether a version is updated or not? So we should always go to gov uk website for the UK visa and immigration authority. Home Office is official department of the UKVI. So all the immigration related information can be obtained. Either you will see in name of Home Office or UKVI, but it should be on the website of gov.uk. This is the official website of the British government that you should always check this. So to apply for a sponsor license for a UK branch of an overseas business, then this is the guidance that we should follow. I repeat, workers and temporary workers sponsor a global business mobility worker. Now, the global business mobility worker, it has got number of categories within the number of routes within this GBM, global business mobility is referred to, abbreviated as GBM. So the GBM routes are broadly senior or specialist worker, graduate trainee, UK expansion worker, service supplier, secondment worker. I remind that in this session I can just highlight the things. For further details, I am providing you the official documentation. You can always check this in your own time live on the website, and also you can contact us later on if you need to clarify or obtain further information regarding this. So within the GBM, one of the categories is UK expansion worker. Now, UK expansion worker, this is for overseas workers who are undertaking temporary work assignments in the UK. So, UK expansion worker visa is for temporary assignment only. If somebody wants to come on a longer term assignments or permanent nature of assignments, then UK expansion worker visa is not applicable in their case. So UK expansion worker, this is for overseas workers who are undertaking temporary work assignments in the UK, where the worker is a senior manager or a specialist employee and is being assigned to the UK to undertake work related to a business's expansion to the UK. This UK expansion worker visa has replaced the unsponsored sole representative provision of the representative of an overseas business route, although those already on that route can apply for further permission and are not required to switch into UK expansion worker visa. So, UK expansion worker visa is number one, temporary visa. Number two, this is the first visa which is supposed to be applied for by a UK branch of an overseas business. So the first visa application which the branch can apply for is called UK expansion worker. Now, when we are supposed to go for applying for the sponsor license for the, this is called sponsor license on the UK expansion worker route. This is called sponsor license on the UK expansion worker route. Now, there are general requirements to apply for the sponsor license that they are almost applicable in every case, every type of scenarios. But when it comes to opening a UK branch of an overseas business and we intend to recruit UK expansion worker for this, then there are additional requirement when we intend to apply for a sponsor license. So here we are talking about what are the additional requirements, if this sponsor license is for UK expansion worker. Here these are listed below. So this gives an overview. This is the official government document which all the applicants and all the overseas businesses and all the UK based branches, they should refer this document. This is official document and this is called GBM3 section. So this gives an overview. If you are applying for a sponsor license on the UK expansion worker route, in addition to the requirements set out in Part 1, apply for a license, and Section GBM2 of this document, you must also show that you have. But in this session that we are conducting right now, we will be just limiting ourselves to only those additional requirements relevant or applicable to the UK expansion worker. So, what are the additional requirements? Number one, you must also show that you have a UK footprint. Number two, you have an overseas trading presence. And number three, you have credible plans to expand to the UK. Now, very important point, that this UK expansion worker or this UK branch of an overseas business is being given a time frame within which they can establish a trading place in the UK, and which is 2 years. So from the opening of the branch, or with reference to when the UK expansion worker visa is granted, uh, that branch of the overseas business must be capable and able to establish, and must establish as well, a trading presence within 2 years. What will happen if it does not happen in 2 years? Yes, we can discuss in another session, but at this point of time, this much information is sufficient. Now, they always, in immigration thing, there are exceptions as well, so we will maybe we'll talk about expansion a bit here, but for additional or detailed requirements relevant to exceptions, all the information is already available online, or we can also be contacted for this. So I repeat quickly that to apply for the sponsor license on the UK expansion worker route, we need to have basically three things. One is a proof of a UK footprint. Number two, an overseas trading presence. And number three, credible plans to expand to the UK. Now, what is a UK footprint requirement? UK footprint requirement means that you should show or prove either of the two. Number one, providing evidence you have UK business premises. For example, a lease agreement or document showing you have purchased the premises. So it can be a lease document, you have leased the premises. Premises can be a shop, can be an office, can be warehouse, can be a building, or whatever it may be. The premises includes all the things. So you must have a document and evidence to show that you have a UK business premises. This is one requirement. Or alternatively, you can show, you need to provide evidence that the business is registered with Companies House as either an overseas company branch or a new company that is a subsidiary of the overseas linked business. In this case, you need only provide your Companies House reference number or numbers. I invite attention of the viewers that this is the reference. The business is registered with Companies House. That is what we have already covered in our previous video, how to register a branch in the UK. So the registration number of the branch can be provided in the sponsor license application, and this will suffice the requirement of proving UK footprint. So either UK business premises evidence or the registration number with the reference number with the Companies House. Number second, we need to prove that overseas trading presence exists. And how to prove it? Then this is the legal and official requirement. I read through this. The overseas business that is expanding to the UK must be active and trading overseas. So they must be active and also trading overseas. And unless an exception applies, there are certain exceptions. Again, I'm talking in general terms. So for details, this document has all details. This document can be referred by our viewers later on. But at this point of time, I'm just covering in general terms. The overseas business that is expanding to the UK must be active and trading overseas. Demonstrate that they have been active and trading for at least 3 years before the date of application. So what they are talking about, that overseas business, the parent company, the principal business, that must be active and trading for at least 3 years before the date of application. Which application? Sponsor license application. So before the date on which we intend to submit a sponsor license application, we need to ensure that the overseas business, principal business, parent business, that is operating for at least 3 years or more. If it is not, then there may be a problem with the sponsor license application. The next point is you must provide evidence that the overseas business has been trading throughout the 12 months period immediately before your application for a sponsor license. For example, corporate bank statements covering the entire period. Now, so the first document under this caption, overseas trading presence requirement, we need to submit 12 months like documents like bank statements, that which 12 months from the date of sponsorship application backwards, 12 months. So it's not year thing, annual thing, it is 12 months prior to the application. Now application may be submitted in any month, it can be January, February, March, April, or any month. So whichever the month is, we need to find out the relevant details like bank statements for the previous 12 months. The second document, this refers to you must also provide evidence that shows the business was trading at the start of the 3-year period before the application and was actively trading throughout that 3-year period, for example, audited accounts. So firstly, we are supposed to submit like documents like bank statements for the period covering 12 months prior to the date of sponsorship application. So this is the nearest 12 months. And the other evidence we are supposed to provide is about the whole 3-year period. So what can it be? The suggested documents are audited annual accounts of the business. Then it further gives further details as well, that what are the documents which can be submitted. Now the third option, I was already discussing that we need to submit with the sponsorship license to prove that we have a UK footprint, number one. Number two, you have an overseas trading presence. And number three, a credible plan to expand to the UK. So we have just discussed UK footprint. Now we have already talked about overseas trading presence requirement, and now we are moving to credible expansion plan. So what is credible expansion plan? I read, you must show you genuinely intend and are able to expand to the UK. Now they are talking about two things, that your intentions must be genuine, and secondly, you have the resources. You are able means you have the resources to expand to the UK and establish a UK trading presence within 2 years. To determine this, we will consider evidence of your business planning and financing. So how to prove that we have genuine intention and are able to expand to the UK? We are supposed to submit two things. Number one, a detailed business plan and information about finances. We may also consider the size of your business, its previous activity, and its potential. Now they are talking about of the size of the business. How they are supposed to gauge the size of the business? It's what it was doing previously and what potential it has got for future. So what is it is doing currently, what it was doing previously, and what it can do in future. So the three things: previous, past, current and future, they would be reviewing these things. Now, I go back to the same point. To determine this, we will consider evidence of your business planning and finances. Now, what may be covered in business planning and finances? Business plan itself, then financial projections, maybe cash flow projections, projected profit loss accounts, bank statements, all those kind of the things which can prove that yes, the UK branch has got the genuine intention, and they also have the ability to expand to the UK. The next point is the planned expansion must be in the same type of business that you conduct overseas, and cannot be a new business venture by the company. So this is one of the questions which is repeatedly being asked. People ask us, can we have one type of business in our back home, or in the home country of the parent company? Can we start another business, another type of business? No, it has to be from the same type of business. If you are running a IT company, the branch will also be running, operating in IT sphere. If it was a manufacturing concern, they will also be operating in the same business. If it was a import export, if it was it was some kind of um, um, cold, just like fruit export business, or juice business, or furniture business, or any kind of business, vehicle business, or any uh, uh, haulage business, it can be any business. So whatever the business, we have to make sure that what we intend to launch here in the UK, it must be the same business which is being conducted by the business back in home country, by the parent company, by the principal business, by the original head office. So this is very important. I repeat, the planned expansion must be in the same type of business that you conduct overseas, and cannot be a new business venture by the company. The business you are establishing in the UK must be either wholly owned by the overseas business, or part of the same legal entity, such as a branch. So I think I have covered pretty much everything, except exceptions. So we can cover exceptions as well. But I would like to invite your attention back to this slide, that this is the route map, that we need to register a branch in UK first, and then we need to apply for a sponsor license. So we have already discussed in our previous video about the register a branch. Now in this session we have discussed apply for a sponsor license. I remind, this sponsor license is on the UK expansion worker route. The next step is sponsorship management system. After that is apply for allocation and assignment of certificate of sponsorship. And the last is apply for UK expansion worker. So we have covered 2 bits by now, and we will be covering the next bits, the 3 next stages, in our next video. Thank you for watching our this session. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.